The database is the report. Hang on, what is this? What number is this?
Should be
159. Over the years, NSA analysts have found that creative ways to capture knowledge of their targets, from index cards and wooden boxes to homegrown databases. This knowledge, or how we know what we know, is often what customers have in mind when they ask for raw, here we go, when they ask for raw SIGINT.
Yeah.
What if we could capitalize on the time and effort put into documenting this knowledge and find an easy and effective way to share it, allowing customers to access the information in our databases instead of SID disseminating it to them narratively has many benefits. An interactive mechanism for retrieving the data allows the customer, I'm having the ding, 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 very important feeling right now.
Yeah.
An interactive mechanism for retrieving the data allows the customer to get the specific information they need when they need it.
Interesting.
This is allowing the customer into the collection phase. This is bypassing the reporting. So usually it happens that the customer makes the request, the NSA goes and looks into the eye of Sauron, retrieves the specific data that relates to the request, analyzes the data, contextualizes the data, goes to the NSA knowledge base about the target, takes data from different places, puts it all together, massages it into a report, and then sends that report to the customer. What these guys are saying here is that some customers don't want that. Some customers just want to be handed the raw information themselves, and they will then perform the analysis themselves. In which case, the NSA literally becomes just a collection service, not a collection analysis service, is what I'm reading so far. Now, this interactive mechanism, an interactive mechanism for retrieving the data allows the customer to get the information they need. Interactive mechanism for retrieving, interactive between the customer and the collector during the retrieval of the data, allows the customers to get the information they need when they need it. Okay, we need to keep reading. This is definitely significant.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
This format is more useful to them because they can manipulate and analyze the information themselves. This also reduces the need for analysts to issue product reports and respond to requests for information, saving time and effort.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking when you first described this, is that it would be easier and more cost efficient for the NSA once it was set up.
Yeah, but it could also mask the motivations of the customer.
True, yeah, because there's less documentation.
The customer is not then saying what they want the analysis to be. They're saying, just give us the product. It's like going to the store and buying a bunch of ingredients. There's a variety of things that you could cook up with those ingredients.
Yeah.
A store clerk won't necessarily know what type of cake you're going to bake or what type of baking you're going to do just because you've bought flour and eggs and milk and butter, right? Mm-hmm. And I think from a customer perspective, that's exactly what's happening here, is they're getting the ingredients rather than providing a recipe.
Definitely. That's a really great way to put it, for sure.
For example, a directory of target-related facilities naturally lends itself to a database structure. Rapidly changing sets of information are not easily shared via traditional product reports. Adding through names to a list of 400 can be a difficult task. With database reporting, however, it is simply a built-in feature. Now we've gone from unclassified to secret. In July 2001, a joint team completed development of the PRC Defence Industries. Who is chat? We need to know, who is PRC Defence Industries? If someone can type that into the chat, please. database reporting prototype, which is accessible to external customers via Interlink. Database reporting. So database reporting is this handing data sets to a customer rather than handing reports of analysis to them. Database reporting definitely has to go in our notes, Liz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Valuable intelligence that is typically gathered in a target office database was made available to both internal agency analysts and customers throughout the intelligence community. This represents NSA's first instance of Interlink-based database comment reporting. The prototype was a first step towards defining a standardized way of sharing SIGINT fact. The next iteration, Scorpio 4, provides database reporting via NSANet with planned releases on Interlink and the second-party mall. The concept was introduced in March 2002 as an interim solution database reporting initiative on Iranian nuclear proliferation procurement activities.
Interesting.
It was in response to stated customer needs and information gaps on this high-priority target. Currently working on a scalable solution of this new concept, which could be applied to many different data sources.
So
the new architecture is structured SIGINT sharing space.
Kathy B has found a page on the International Space Station program. Kathy, is this to do with the company we asked everyone to look up, or let me just check. I'm not sure.
Structured SIGINT sharing space is where they're going to share the databases instead of sharing the reports. The ability to share SIGINT fact via database reporting will not replace narrative reporting altogether. However, it does facilitate information sharing and provides a powerful vehicle for an analyst to add more information to shared analytics space. Wow. Factories and Institutes directory. Where is that? PRC, Defense Industries. Their database reporting prototype, Factories and Institutes directory. Factories and Institutes directory. The database reporting prototype. That sounds like it was a commercial product.
Yeah, it does.
Like PRC Industries developed a commercial database reporting product, which would be why it's called Factories and Institutes.
Yeah, someone
and that NSA has modified that solution.
I'm looking up PR Defense Industries myself, but someone in chat asked if it was the People's Republic of China.
No. Where's that part about the new architecture? So they're developing their own solution. S1 is currently working on a scalable solution, which means one that they can deploy across their partners and everything.
Actually, oddly, the only thing that does come up when I search for this is the People's Republic of China Defense Industry. So
PRC Defense Industries.
Yeah.
Completed development of the PRC Defence Industries database reporting prototype. Why? How is that possible? They wouldn't be able to make an acquisition from a Chinese defense company, surely.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think what it is that there's no you know, the first page of Bing or whatever is not showing the correct company because there's probably
this exact term, defense industries.
No, it's not the exact thing. It's
okay,
it's
well, there you go then. So we need to search with quotation marks around this precisely. PRC Defense Industries.
Yeah. You know, I searched that term. It's just that nothing comes up with that would be accurate. So it looks to me like there's not a lot of digital record of this company. Or they may have changed names, because a lot of times companies that want to keep their history secret will merge and change names. I have PRC composites, which came up first when I searched the term in quotation marks. So basically, I will have to look at this in more depth later to figure out and track down if this is referring to a company that we can find out anything about.
Okay, let's make a no, PRC Defense Industry, CACD juice, and PRC Defense Industries are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same thing. It would be virtually impossible that NSA would be able to make a acquisition, a software acquisition from Chinese defense. I mean, maybe they would steal like something, you know, and use and repurpose some technology from them, but there wouldn't be an acquisition from them.
Yeah.
Surely.
I would hope not.
Surely. I'm sure it would have to be embargoed or something. Like it would be virtually unheard of, I would think. But I feel like we're going off on the wrong track on that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll have to look at it later.
Yeah, so the two big takeaways from this are what database reporting is, the fact that it's being used, that they are rolling out a scalable solution, which means to customers and partners or partners, and then that last part about the new architecture.
Yeah.
I'm just going to revisit quickly. Where is it? New architecture, working on a scalable solution. The new architecture is structured SIGINT sharing space. So what this means is that instead of them just sharing documents or links or whatever, they're actually sharing databases. They're sharing data sets. Okay, so because this opens a whole new can of worms, right? First of all, the fact that they've been providing raw SIGINT at all, but certainly this idea that they would send target databases around the place.
Yeah.
If they're not performing the I mean, how does this fit in with their with the restrictions on them? You remember when they every employer had to sign the document, multiple documents once a year saying that they'd read all of the rules, the ethics guidelines, and the congressional guidelines for that. I mean, how does sharing entire databases fit in with that?
I have no idea.
They would have to analyze the database contents before they shared them, because they would have to make sure that they weren't violating their guidelines, their compliance guidelines. But this the structured SIGINT sharing space is very, very, very interesting to me. It's like a workspace. It's I'm trying to think of a way that that people would be able to understand this outside of a software development context. To me, it's like a window or a portal that everyone across the Five Eyes or wherever will be able to log into and will be able to access in real time those data sets, the shared working space. Like graphic designers do with, a creative cloud or whatever, where they can work on the same thing in real time.
Yeah.
But this is the intelligence agency version of it, where they're working on the intelligence product in real time. They're able to access the intelligence product in real time.
Awesome.
I would love to read more about that. Unfortunately, there's no name for it yet.
We might come across it in another document, hopefully soon after.
There's that README file for the traffic. What was it that we found? This is what I want a README file for this.
Yeah, I remember that.
Traffic thief. Traffic thief, right? I want a README file for this.
Definitely.
What I would really like is someone, and we got that off edwardsnowden.com, didn't we? I'm pretty sure that's where the README file for traffic thief came from. I love to go to edwardsnowden.com and find if there is other README files. But this, we need to keep an eye out for this new solution that they're coming up with to replace this proprietary solution from these guys.
Definitely.
This is very significant. Okay, I'm going to make some notes about this really quickly because I feel like that's a super important document.
For sure.
Blake, do you want to catch us up on chat?
I don't know if Blake's still here. I'm trying to keep a bit of an eye on what's going on, but we've got a lot of good people here, so it's been a little bit busy. Oh, looks like somebody found PRC Project Risk Consultants, LLC.
Now we're talking.
Ibn Kim, thank you so much. That's great.
No, I don't think so. Not unless it's, there must be an American business registry somewhere, right?
Yeah, when I initially looked, with the quotation marks, there was no exact company with that name that came up.
Were you searching specifically in a business directory?
No, I just searched Bing.
What about searching WikiLeaks, and what about searching edwardsnowden.com for PRC Defense Industries?
I'll go look through WikiLeaks 1 second.
The other thing that you can do is search on the program name.
Yeah.
So, wonderful chat people, try searching on FIDIR, try searching on, in quotation marks, Factories and Institutes directory. And throw in the acronym as well. Anyway, my read of this is that is a proprietary software product.
Yeah, I agree.
That it was probably designed for database sharing in factories and institutes where they have multiple different data centers associated with the same business, and they're wanting to assimilate or integrate or analyze those alongside each other, and that it was the best that the NSA could come up with for a short-term solution was to use this proprietary software that they have had their S1 and S2 teams I actually don't think those are teams. They are like HR groupings. Oh no, it says team, a joint S1, S2 team. Completed development. So basically they've like integrated, they've customized it and integrated it. And it says which is accessible to external customers via interlink. So they've already made it available and it's already there for use. But they have then decided to create their own solution of the same concept, of this new concept of database reporting. And the new one will apply to many different types of data sources. And it will be called the Structured SIGINT Sharing Space. And that I need to add into my notes because that is the super interesting term.
Yeah, I didn't find anything in WikiLeaks on PRC Defense Industries, but I did find another Snowden document on edwardsnowden.com. It's a Shadowing Charlie Meals file, and it says it's from PRC Defense Industries. So I'm going to link that to you guys in chat.
Can you share screen it and let's have a look through it? But guys, also can you search on edwardsnowden.com Structured SIGINT Sharing Space?
Okay.
But I'll hand over to you, Elizabeth, for a few minutes, and if you can just share screen and talk us through what you just found, that would be great.
Awesome. It's significant, but I found that I just searched in quotations PRC Defense Industries in the Snowden documents, and this is what I found. I know we've looked at a number of different, shadowing Charlie Meals, shadowing Quirk, all of that type of document. So we may have looked at this before, and it looks like this is an early document because it's dated 2003. So I'm betting that this is from batch 3. I remember that this was maybe one of the documents in the first stream that I did with her. Because I remember it being very odd that they used Charlie Meals as some sort of code name. Yeah, I think this is one that I remember. So I don't remember that there was anything particularly interesting in here as far as content that we saw, but I think it is very interesting. This is from PRC Defense Industries. And then this S2B33. And I'm completely ignorant as to what that S2B33 designation means. Is that related to the Army S2 or not?
No, these are development teams.
Okay, thank you, Susie, for saving me because I had no idea. Yeah, it's weird to me that this would be from PRC Defense Industries.
We definitely need to know more about this PRC Defense Industries.
I'm thinking that this is what I think about that. I think that the reason and when you literally just search for PRC Defense Industries in quotation marks on a search engine, nothing comes up that's exactly right. So I think that this is some sort of not publicly available group that is either some sort of shell or front. No, that doesn't sound right because shells and fronts are usually public. So there's something up with that. Top secret, highest classification. Huh. No, that's not right. This is unclassified. Weird, very odd.
Can you read it to us, Elizabeth?
Yeah, sure. It just said the title is Shadowing Charlie Meals. It starts out saying, I found Shadowing Deputy Director of Signals Intelligence, Charlie Meals, very interesting and worthwhile. I encourage anyone interested in seeing a view from the top to consider signing up for the program. You won't regret it. But first, a word of caution. Make sure you get a good night's sleep the night before. You'll be in for a very... I remember reading this with you. And my internet is now going unstable.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I find it very interesting that this document is labeled as from PRC.
Yeah, no, that's really mind-blowing. I don't understand why they would be sending this.
Well, usually these documents are from an NSA department. So does that mean that PRC Defence Industries is a department of the NSA? Does that mean that the NSA is developing products for and then selling them to their defence organizations?
It sounds something like that. There's something going on with this where it's not a normal company. So, and the next paragraph just talks about the schedule is grueling and that it started so early, and the meetings covered a myriad of topics and went all day. During their experience, they gained new insights into a project they were already familiar with, one during a briefing and one was briefed on 2 prototype systems. They learned about efforts to improve the early threat warning process at a field site and developed some appreciation of metrics during a corporate metrics review meeting. But what impressed me most was how cohesive Major General Quirk, Charlie Meals, and their staff worked as a team. As an analyst, they came away with the feeling that, although they're physically removed from the analytic shops, they have the rank and file civilian and military workers in the forefront of their minds when they raise questions during a presentation or make a decision. I'm mangling my words so badly today. I now feel that they are more like co-workers, part of my team. Their focus is on enhancing and unencumbering the workplace as much as possible for the benefit of the analysts, which leads to increased productivity and efficiency. For example, during the corporate metrics meeting, Mr. Meals mentioned the prospect of an easy-to-use tool that, for analysts to seek and add product requirements to each report. Mr. Meals' concern was that the tool not be just another instrument which analysts would be forced to learn how to use. Rather, it had to be easy, transparent to use, or have similar features incorporated in tools already in use and familiar to analysts. Likewise, during a briefing on the possibility of deployment of equipment from one field site to another, MG Quirk was primarily concerned about the impact of the transfer on the people at the sites. He questioned if the transfer would be just a band-aid to temporarily fix the problem, or if it would provide a more permanent solution. Collaboration and cooperation are alive and well at the top of the Signals Intelligence Directorate, but you don't have to take my word for it. Sign up to be a shadow and see for yourself. So this definitely sounds like a document that's being sent from within the NSA to other departments or to the rest of the NSA employees. This doesn't sound like something that's coming from an outside company. And I'm going to stop sharing and check chat 1 second.
Yeah, it seems like PRC Defence Industries is in fact a division of the NSA.
Yeah.
Or a part of the NSA.
That
I would like to know a lot more about what they do.
Definitely. And it's interesting that they would title it in such a way that it sounds like an independent company or a separate company.
And now I'm just going back and rereading the document again to see in that context. So this document is from, and I'll just share screen, it is from the Analysis and Production Operations staff.
Yeah.
But that's just because they're talking about, it's the reporting side. Production in NSA sense means producing the reporting from the Eye of Sauron.
Well, this is interesting. So if we're right, then we've discovered a new division of the NSA that we didn't know about, or subdivision, or...
It's difficult to know. Okay, we should probably move on from that now. I've taken pretty extensive notes about it.
Okay.
And if something else comes up about this, we'll definitely find it. So was that the only thing on edwardsnowden.com that referenced PRC Defence Industries?
Yeah, the only other document was the one that we initially looked at.
Was there anything on WikiLeaks?
No, there wasn't.
Okay. Very interesting.